Today is Tuesday, the 14th of March, and this is from the South. Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos has apologized over funding for his 2010 election campaign from the scandal-plagued Brazilian construction firm ODEBRECHT. Santos said he had been unaware of the payments at the time and did not authorize them. Santos called for an investigation and said those responsible for any act of corruption must be punished. He asked the nation to forgive him for the shameful act, adding that it should have never happened. Former President Luis Inácio Lula da Silva labeled the charges false that he tried to block an ongoing Petrobras investigation. Lula said he had nothing to do with an attempt to pay a former executive at Petrobras in exchange for the executive not testifying in the investigation. If convicted of obstruction of justice, Lula could face a prison sentence of 3 to 8 years. He faces more serious indictments on charges of accepting gifts from engineering companies involved in the Petrobras scandal. Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernández won his party's primary on Sunday and could possibly win a re-election despite a constitutional one-term limit. One of the president's challengers will be Xiomara Castro, the wife of Manuel Zelaya. Castro won the Libres nomination with over 117,000 votes. Guatemala has arrested 3 former government employees in connection with a fire that killed 40 girls at the shelter for abused teens. The prosecutor's spokeswoman, Julia Barea, confirmed the detentions of former Social Welfare Secretary Carlos Rodas and 2 former child welfare officials. The suspects were accused of wrongful death, mistreatment of minors, and negligence. Barea added that a judge had also banned several workers from the shelter from leaving the country. Many people of Peru are struggling with the heavy rains and flash floods. After 10 hours of constant rain in the city of Tingo Maria, bus passengers and truck drivers were stranded on a road after a mudslide. In the city of Chiclayo, located in northern Peru, hundreds of homes have been damaged by rainfall and school classes have been suspended. Mexico would seek to block U.S. high fructose corn syrup from entering Mexico if the United States imposes any tariffs on Mexican sugar. According to Mexico's Sugar Chamber president, the government was willing to negotiate with the United States to get a mutually beneficial deal. Last week, the U.S. and Mexico said they would launch a new round of negotiations to resolve a years-long trade dispute over Mexico's sugar exports to the United States. U.S. President Donald Trump hosted Saudi Arabia's powerful Deputy Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman at the White House. The talks between the two men are expected to focus on the economy and rolling back Iranian influence. Both countries expect to improve ties that were frequently strained under Barack Obama's administration. Members of 7 firefighters unions demonstrated in Paris to protest against a cutback in resources and to denounce their working conditions. According to the union's joint press release, professional firefighters are struggling with reduced financial and human resources, resulting in a drop in their efficiency during operations. 203 prisoners who were jailed for participating in unauthorized anti-government protests in 2013 in Egypt have been freed. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi issued a pardon for the captives on Monday. The prisoners were jailed under a 2013 protest law, which required anyone who wanted to demonstrate to obtain a permit from the country's Ministry of Interior. Israeli police closed a Palestinian research center in Jerusalem and briefly arrested its director earlier this Tuesday. Khalil Talfakci is accused of working with the Palestinian Authority to monitor the sale of land by Palestinians to Israeli Jews in East Jerusalem. He was released in the afternoon. Experts in Mexico have stepped up work on the remains of a 14,000-year-old mammoth that archaeologists say could shed new light on primitive humans. The remains of the mammoth were found near the town of Tultepec in 2016 during piping work. Since then, experts have been working delicately to best preserve its fossilized bones. More on these and other stories on our website, telesurtv.net/English.